Welcome to the channel, everybody. My name is Ryan, and we're back for some more Unreal World. And this is the Stranded Island playthrough. If it's your first time joining us, here we take a look at our new island home. And a little bit, you can see we have moved from this where was where we basically started here at this quest marker. We moved on down the island, and there is a very small land bridge right here, which allowed us to get into this particular area of the map, which is nice and flat and looks amazing. So we've actually got a trap over here too. I set this recently. Let's check it. No, nothing here. Actually, there's a lot here. There's a whole ton of cranberries. Do you guys see these little bushes everywhere? Look, there's a fire down there too. I must have set that. Weird. But yeah, we've got two cranberries. Actually, that might have been from our companion. I bet you if we look around, his tracks are here. Yep, he's got tracks all over the place. So our companion's been starting two fires, sleeping in between them, I guess, to stay warm. That's interesting. But hopefully he'll stick around the area. So if you guys missed the first couple of episodes with the companion that we had, he was a part of a quest, so he's gone now. He's probably still in the area, but he's not helping us directly. But man, oh man, it was funny. That dude killed an elk in melee combat. Here's the elk cuts right here. We got all the the skin and the meat from the elk, so it was literally like saved our life. And I appreciate that guy very much. We weren't able to help him find a city or a village, is what he wanted to find, because there's no villages on the island. So he's just out of luck. Unfortunately, we can't make a village out of nothing. So we had to just use him for his labor. As you can see, he cut down a whole bunch of logs for me, and he even crafted some boards. Pretty good ones too. So that's pretty huge. Now I'm not planning on building a shelter. Well, I should say a cabin. We already have a shelter up right here. But what I do want to do with these boards, at least, is make some skis at some point. Now, first things first, let's check here. We've got a little bit of winter elk fur, 2.3 pounds, because I did make a bunch of clothing and stuff. So I don't think it's enough for the deepest parts of winter when we get super cold, because we don't have a cloak or an overcoat or anything, but it's still better than what we started the game with. So tremendously grateful for that first big elk kill. Now, the thing with the skis is we're going to need some slender trunks, and I think we're definitely in enough snow to justify making skis right now. So let me grab this whole bundle of slender trunks. We'll bring it back to our shelter. I'm also going to go ahead and move two fine boards. Just two is all we need. We'll move those down into the shelter as well. We don't need to pick them up. And in fact, I'm going to drop those. Drop these feathers too. Don't need that. Okay, let's see. Oh, look, man, those cranberries are the only food items I literally have at the moment. So we do have a whole pile of meat here, as I mentioned, but it's going to take 22 days before it's ready. So we got to get out there and start doing some hunting of our own. Now, let's see here. Like I said, we're going to go with a little bit of crafting. I should mention this is a modded playthrough, so this crafting menu is going to look a lot different from yours if you're just playing the vanilla game. But there's a link to the mod pack down below. It includes several different mods, but you can install it all in one go. There are instructions on how to install this as well, because there's no Steam Workshop for this game, sadly. It's just you have to go into the game files yourself. So check out those links if you're interested in playing along here. So what am I looking for? Transport, R. There we go. So let's first do the ski stick. Oh, dang it, I need an axe. I was hoping just because we had the boards that would be enough. Also need a pound of leather, but that's doable because I do have, what is it, yeah, I've got some old boots somewhere on the ground. Let me see if I can, there they are. We can use this for the leather. Or if I catch like 4 or 5 birds, that'll be enough too for a pound of leather. But the axe is the hard part. So we can make a stone axe, right? Yeah, there it is. Stone axe. We should definitely do this. I need 5 foot of thin cordage. Okay, let's check here on the ground. I don't think I've got these withes here. This is a form of cordage. You can see it says 3 and 4 and different feet lengths, but it's not good. It won't work. It's not thin cordage. This will work, but it's very poor quality. So I'm gonna, oof, I can't use this fur though. I need that Dang it. I was going to go ahead and make some more cordage and hope that I got like some better quality stuff, but I think I honestly just have to use this poor cordage right here. Yeah. It's not uncommon for your first pair of skis to be like a bad quality pair of skis, but they'll still get you where you need to go, and you'll still gain skill points from using them, even if they are a little bit slower or whatever. But so let's see, we ended up well, we got a decent stone axe there, so that's the start. At least we have a good tool. Although the stone axe itself is not ideal, we'd rather have a real axe with a metal head. This is better than a poor stone axe, so we got that going for us. Okay, here we go. It is the following morning, and I've got the leather boots in my hand. Now I picked those up in the fur, and we're going to try again with the axe in our hand. So we're going to use a pound of leather, and this won't totally ruin the boots. Like, I could still wear these boots potentially if they're in red now because I'm already wearing some fur shoes, but these are still viable. It's just they're we got some holes in them, maybe you can imagine. But unfortunately, we have nothing for breakfast, so we're just going to keep our mind focused on crafting here. Let's try and get these skis. So we got the ski stick. Let's do the skis. And oh no, see, I was worried about this. We actually need 4 pounds of fur. I only have 2.3, so we need another 2 pounds basically, and more tying equipment. Well, so the skis themselves are going to have to wait. Oh, look, we did end up with an inferior ski stick. Like I said, that's fairly common. So what I'm going to do is just drop everything. Well, not everything, just the ski related items. No need to carry around the ski stick itself if I'm not actually going to be skiing, so it's just extra weight. So that's all down now. Everything, I'm pretty slim here. The only thing I'm carrying that's really weighty are these 4 stones, and we're going to go make some traps with those since we can't do any real, like, great hunting. I don't have a bow and arrow yet. Although we could still potentially, like, wear an animal down. I'm not totally ruling that out. It's still good to get our traps up. So what I'd like to do is head to the location first. Yeah, I was thinking maybe I should cut down the slender trunks and then go. Yeah, let's take a few here. Can I pick all these up? Whoopsie. I zoned out without picking them up. There we go. Okay, so yeah. I'm looking at my weight here. We're carrying a total of 306 pounds, which is probably pretty close to this guy's maximum. If we take a quick peek at his size, he's 229 pounds. Now, obviously, he's able to carry a little bit more than his weight, but the height and weight, the sheer size of your character, does directly affect how much they can carry. And of course, you can see this guy's maxed on strength and endurance. So, for instance, if I had a character who was even bigger, who was like 270 pounds, and he was also fully maxed like this guy is, he would be able to carry even more weight. But that's why I always try and go for big individuals. I think I'm not sure, it might have an effect in combat too, just being bigger and stuff. I don't know, but it definitely matters in carrying capacity. So I'm dropping. No, I'm not going to drop them. That's right. We're going to go make some traps here. So let's move out onto the world map. I don't want to go too far. Disoriented Vagabond Adventure Quest has expired and was removed from the journal. Okay, yeah, we knew that was going to happen. So basically, I want to stay within just a couple of paces of my actual shelter. And that's because when it gets really, really cold, it's going to be hard for us to travel on the world map without like becoming frozen solid. So we got to stay close. And it's good. Oop, now we're actually in the forest. That's not great. What I'm going to do is move out. I know that there's an open flat mire just up ahead. Here we go. Okay, so what I want to do, wow, look at all this heather. See all this pink grassy stuff right here? It's probably almost dead too. It says flowering. Let's see if we can identify it. No, I know just from game experience that this is heather. It's perfectly edible. In fact, it has a lot of medicinal properties as well. So if you save some and put it on your wounds, if you happen to have wounds, whoops, which I don't think we do. Oh, we do have a couple bruises and cuts still, but that's okay. Those originally came from our starting scenario, but let's not worry about those. We're here to set some traps. Now, what I might do, though, is go ahead and pick a little bit of heather and place that in our traps as bait for sure. Or we can even just use the plant itself, and I can just set my trap right over the top of it. Boom, like that. I've done that before. We'll do that right here too on this little young plant. There we go. So now we've got 3 nice looking traps all in a row. I'm going to go ahead and pick some of this now. It does take time. Keep that in mind. So if you spend all day just picking heather, it can be easy to lose track of like your warmth and stuff, especially if it's in the winter. So just remember, each time it takes like 3 to 5 minutes, and some, like I think some berry bushes can take like 15 minutes to pick a single bush. So again, just be aware of that. Anyway, so we've got some food now. It's not really enough to keep us going by any means, but I can bait these traps. So let me throw a bit into these. It'll just hopefully increase the chances real quick. And what I'll do is we're going to go to the other spot where I've made traps too. And let's throw some heather in these as well. Okay, well, I forgot. We actually put some cranberries in these plants. Yep, that's right. There's a whole bunch of cranberry bushes around, so that's not a big deal. What we should do is continue to place traps, honestly. I need some more stone, I think. I've got 1, but yeah, that's not going to be enough. Let's pay a visit to the nearby mountain, which is also where we built our shelter. Yeah, as you can see, there's stones everywhere, so we want the big boys here. This is very nice being having our shelter right on top of this mountain like this. It's not a very big mountain either. You can see that here's the summit of it right here. Oh, what are these tracks? Look like fox tracks? Arctic fox traps. Oh, that reminds me. I bet you we can make some fox traps with these boards here. All right, let me pick up 2 boards. I've forgotten what we need, but I'm going to step away from the rest of the boards, and I'll explain why. But let's go to our trap section here, the paw board fox trap. No, all we need is a board, axe, and a knife. Perfect, and we have it. I should do this inside my shelter, but that's okay. So the reason I picked up the boards and stepped away from the pile is because if you just do this at your feet, it's gonna, I'm not sure which one it'll pick up. It could just use the 2 regular boards, but I want to improve the overall quality of the final product, so I'm going to use 2 boards, 2 fine boards, and I'm going to pick them up and move away from the pile so that when I do go in here and create these, it's only allowed to use what's in my inventory essentially. So it's just a way of inventory management and hopefully producing better quality stuff. Let me eat a bunch of heather. All right, let's get, we're going to have 4 fox traps now. That's amazing. Let's see, and they all turned out fine. See that? So they're all fine quality thanks to those boards we use, which is amazing. They're pretty heavy, 12 pounds of them, but I think this is a great spot here since we've already literally seen... Oh, I'm a little bit overweight. Look, there's the Arctic fox right there. It just interrupted my rest. Yes, we want to stop. So I'm not going to actively hunt it. I'm just literally going to draw... I've got too many stones on me. Let's drop that. We're going to go up the mountain a little bit. Chase him away. Let's literally set a trap where we just saw him. Oh, dude, he's coming right up to me. He's a curious little fella. He's probably hungry. I'm going to put those cranberries in that trap, and for good measure, we're going to set 2. So, again, they don't have to be super far away. You know, you can set them really far if you want, just whatever's most comfortable. And I think that quantity over like distance, or you might say the quality of the positioning is better. So just slap down a whole bunch of them. Now the real key is, can we see these from our shelter? I can see 1. It's okay. It's just more convenient that way if you can just look up there and see. All right, but if I just move like 5 paces. All right, so we've still got 2 more. It's late afternoon. I'm not quite tired yet. So what I'd like to do is take these 2 fox traps now. What are these? Are these human tracks? Oh, yeah, those are our companion. So what I'm going to do is place 1 of each trap, fox trap, here at the location we've got our other traps now. Boom. And I'll go ahead and bait this one. A little bit of cranberry action. Let's go to the other one and repeat the process. Okay, here we are at the second location. I have placed down the trap. I even put it on top of one of the heather patches. And then I'm also going to put some cranberries down too. So I'm really hoping to catch some decent fox stuff. Now, here's the deal with the foxes, they don't provide a lot of meat, but their skins are very valuable. So once we process the fur and stuff, we start getting like 4 or 5 of those, we'll probably be able to end up buying a nice little bow, an arrow set, which is really important because if we take a quick peek at my guy's skills, you'll see that the spear and the bow are his best. He's also pretty good with an axe, but we definitely need to get this man a bow and arrows in his hands. And let's take a look at some of the other stuff. He's a decent knife fighter. He's competent. That's about it though for armor or fighting, I should say. So if we do any actual fighting, he's going to need to have a spear and an axe, which we've got the stone axe, so that should help. But other than that, I do like to go with building as a priority most of the time, just because building, if you want to actually build a cabin, it takes a long time, and having a good skill at it is helpful. But you can see I turned something like weather lore. I almost never use this, so I always remove points if I start off in an easy or too easy start, which allows you to take points away essentially and redistribute them. But if you're interested in seeing this character get built, you can tune into the very first episode. I do go through that crafting a little bit. Plus, I've got several other series for Unreal World on the channel as well, and they're all linked below in the description. So if you guys are interested, if you get caught up with this series and you just want to see some more, I do have several other playthroughs. We have different objectives and stuff. But anyway, if we're looking at this one, I think we're doing pretty good. Let's get back to our main shelter. I mean, we've got to survive these 22 days on basically starvation rations. Like we can eat a little bit of flour here. Not flour, heather flowers, I should say. Take a drink. Delicious. Nice, cool, crisp spring water. And that's it. I mean, we've got to wait now. Let's see, how long? 21 days. It's only been 1 day since the last time I checked on it. Okay, good morning, everybody. We just had a nice little rest here. You know what I realized? I'm going to wield one of these rocks just in case I want to do some throwing. I can pick this one real quick and it won't like take a turn or whatever. Anyway, we'll get into that if I see a squirrel or something. But it is morning, like I said. Let's check our fox traps up here. Oh, look at that. Do you see it? Oh, the curious little fox. He got caught. There he is, and he has just become breakfast. Man, oh man. So we've got our knife wielded. It's literally, you know what, actually, I was going to say it's the only weapon, but that's not true. I have a stone axe, and we're much better with the axe than we are with the knife. So I'm going to take it. We're going blunt to the head. All right, we hit the foreleg. Oops, blunt to the head. There it is. Okay, we just killed it. So we can pick it up. I'm going to pick up both items, the trap and the fox. Now here's the deal. I think I'm going to take the current trap that I just caught this guy with. I'm going to move that to a new area. Yeah, I'm going to set up another group of traps for birds, and we'll put that one also at that spot too, like we've done with the other two. This guy right here on top of the mountain, we'll leave him. Maybe the fox has a mate that'll come looking for it and we can catch it too. So I might move that at some point. So like I said, if I'm sitting in my shelter, I can actually look up there and see it. That's very handy. But right now it's okay where it's at. So let's stay focused on the fox. I'm going to step right here in front of the water hole. Whenever I'm processing an animal and working on its skin, I like to have it outside of the shelter. I don't want it mixed up with all the other junk that I've got dropped there. So I'm going to put this guy right here at the edge of the watering hole. And I just obtained a fine winter Arctic fox skin, which is huge. Like I said, this is the most valuable piece from the whole animal. The food is pretty negligible, but let's go ahead and butcher it. Okay, beautiful. We got 4 edible cuts. What I'm going to do is sacrifice. I know it's tough, but now we're down to 3 edible cuts. Nonetheless, we did a good thing there, keeping ourselves in line with the spirit realm. So what I also want to do, there's a few bones at my feet. I'm just going to push those into my shelter. But let's go ahead and finish the skin, or at least finish this first stage, get it working. So we're going to apply some of the fat, and it drops at our feet now. It's got a few hours to be ready. So what we probably want to do is go ahead and start a nice little fire and roast up some fox meat. It's basically going to be one meal for us, maybe one meal and another like bite of a second meal. But I'm still going to roast them. 3 cuts, it's 3 pounds of meat. And it'll take a couple of minutes. I think I'll just cut down a tree here. I want to really be careful and not burn this stuff. Okay, yeah, it's ready to go. If you leave it sit there too long and the fire burns long enough next to it, it will spoil, so be careful. But nonetheless, let's pick up a couple of these. 2 of those. I should have one of them. Yeah, okay, so I've got 3 total. I'm going to grab 3 stones. I see those right up here. Yeah, we got 3 stones right there. So it's time. We got, like I said, a few hours before the skin is ready for the next stage. The meat itself that I just cooked, we're not going to eat that right away. What I'm doing, I'm kind of on a starvation diet, like I said, so I will only eat right before bed, essentially. Now, I guess I'll have a pinch or two of heather just to help him get over his, starvation a little bit, but the meat is really what's going to matter. And like I said, I like to eat it before bed because it just makes sleep so much easier when he's not starving. So anyway, let's go ahead and zoom out and then go to the world map. Now we've got to find a new location for a trap. Again, I don't want to go too far from the shelter, but also you got to consider you don't want them too clustered. You want to give a chance for your traps to breathe, so to speak, I guess. So let's come out here a little bit farther than we have so far. I'm going to zoom out, just take stock of the area. Looks like any interesting spots. We got a little watering hole right here. It's nicely frozen over. But there's cranberry bushes in this area. Let's go ahead and set up our traps right on top of these cranberries here. So do the first section, light lever trap is the easiest. And I will place them all kind of nearby. Oh, look. So there's a black grouse. So that's a good sign. Obviously, it's always good to have like spotted animals in the spot where you're actually placing your traps. Okay, here we go. So this is now our third location with traps. And again, it's pretty close to home. The traps are all centered and close together, so I can just zoom into this area real quick and I don't have to go like searching all over the place trying to remember where I put each one of the traps. I can just literally zoom in and out. I can be standing back here, come to this location, say, oh, nothing's here. All right, let's move home. Or go on to the next set of traps. Same with this one. Let's see. Boom. Nothing here. All right, we move on. And again, nothing there. I like to be standing away from the traps so that if I zoom in, it doesn't matter so much with these small ones, but if you have like a bear trap set up, you don't want to be standing next to it when you zoom in because that bear could take a swipe at you. So just get in the habit when you zoom in and out of a zone, be standing a few paces away from your traps. But nonetheless, you can see we've got 3 nice locations set up for some trap coverage. That's some good passive hunting. I think, like I said, I'm going to go ahead and move this boy a little bit closer. So what I like to do is first I'll go to my shelter and I'll try and identify a spot that I can see and maybe a little landmark. So maybe this cliff right here might be doable. So let's head to that location with the trap. That way it's at the farthest point from my shelter, but I can still see it. So if we hit SR for traps and then D to disable, boom. I can pick it up. Let's go ahead and grab the flowers too. So it was, I don't know, roughly about here. Also, if you look at your shelter from the position you're at, see how it's not in shadow? That means I can clearly see it from this vantage point, and vice versa. I could clearly see this vantage point from my shelter. So that's just another way of figuring out where to put your traps if you want to do this method. Personally, I love this method. I will probably set some more traps to the south too, so that we have like all different directions covered when we're standing in our shelter. So there, we've baited that trap. Now let's double check it. Oh, something healed. Okay, our wounds are healing. Nice. We have the regenerative properties of Wolverine. So unfortunately, I think it's just because it's a little dark right now. Let's rest. Yeah, okay, perfect. So when the sun is fully shining, we can see the trap now from our shelter. And like I said, another good method. Let me see, do I have any more? Let me grab some more materials here, and we'll make some more traps using that same kind of method. Okay, I've got everything we need to just make two quick little lever traps. I got the two stones, four branches, and two slender trunks. So that's just perfect. We're still holding on to that fox meat too. That's for the night. Looking forward to eating that, I'll tell you what. But so again, what I'm going to do is set these at the farthest point that I can see when I sit in my shelter. Now it's very easy to the south because it's nice and clear. So I think what I'll do is I'll put one down here, like right at the edge near this little hill section, and then maybe one right over here at the corner. So keep both corners covered with a trap. So like I said, we'll travel to a position here. We can probably safely walk over this ice now. I don't have to worry about falling in. Hopefully. We'll see. But again, if you're not sure, just go to that position you intend to set your trap and look back at your shelter. If it's open and you can see like the little bones and stuff inside of it, then you know you're in a good visual position. So I'm going to go ahead and set the trap right there, right at the edge of the water. And we'll put some flowers in there. All right, now we'll step over here. I think roughly I said about this location. We could set it on the hill, but it's not a big deal. It doesn't make a big difference. I see some human footprints right there. I wouldn't be surprised if we ran into that guy again. The companion. Maybe we can hire him out too. Oh, that would be funny if I ran into him again and then I was able to hire him with some of the elk meat that he actually recovered for us. That would be great. But there you go. Okay, so you can see when we stand in our shelter now, every morning when we wake up, all we have to do is literally look to the north and to the south, and our traps have been checked. Literally, we can see them visually. So that sets us up pretty well, guys. I think this is probably the passive hunting episode, is what I'll call it. Hopefully, in the coming episodes, we can do some active hunting for sure. But I really appreciate everybody coming by for this episode. And if you're enjoying the series so far, I hope you'll consider hitting that like button and subscribing to the channel. Thank you guys so much, and I will see you on the next one.